We just had a devastating earthquake in the Philippines. 6.3 earthquake, actually 6.4. It rocked the city, and some people said it was the strongest they'd ever felt. Sean Martin, Express UK reports. It was a massive earthquake, classified as strong, of course, felt on the Philippines, the second largest island. One local described it as the strongest I've ever felt. Major 6.4 magnitude rocked the island of Mindanao at 1937 local time. It came just 28 miles southwest of the city of Davao, which has a population of more than 1.2 million. One person in Digos, located 14 miles from the epicenter, took to earthquake monitoring site CMES to describe the tremor. He wrote, "So strong, the strongest so far that I've ever felt." Another person in Davao said it was very strong and very sudden. It originally came in as magnitude 6.7 and since has been downgraded. Pictures emerged showing the true devastation, although there are yet to be any reports of injuries. Of course, we have tremendous building damage, and as we know, every time you have an earthquake, it traumatizes the building. So you may have a major quake with no injury to the building, and an aftershock of a much lower magnitude, which could cause a lot of damage to the building. But anyway, the series of images from locals show huge cracks appearing on building sides, and of course objects thrown off bookshelves and walls. The PIVOLCS, monitoring earthquakes and volcanoes in the Philippine director, Renato Solidum, described the quake as moderately strong. PhilVolcS, Philippine volcanoes, also said that aftershocks and reports of the damage are expected to come in hours during the day, of course, and the Pacific Tsunami Center has ruled out the possibility of a tsunami after the tremor. One of the reasons the Philippines, of course, is seismically active is because it sits on the Ring of Fire, which is the largest, most active fault line in the world, stretching from New Zealand around the east coast of Asia over to Canada, the United States, and that's where we're now having, of course, our San Francisco quakes, where we also have our high threat volcanoes in California, the west coast, the Ridgecrest earthquakes. That's all on the Ring of Fire as well. The plates which make up the Ring of Fire are so huge, even the slightest shift results in massive tremors, volcanic activity, and of course tsunamis. In July, two tremors of 5.4 and 5.9 magnitude rocked the popular tourist region of Bataan within hours of each other. So this is, of course, Philippines, as we know. Now, more than 2,000 residents in Ibiata Island, one of the worst affected areas, were warned to leave, to abandon their homes because of the successive aftershocks after this earthquake. The northern Philippine region suffered a disaster also in 1990 with a magnitude 7.7 earthquake. And the most fatal of the Philippine earthquakes came in 1976 with a 7.9 magnitude tremor. So we can see that it has very large earthquakes. A population of 108 million people in the Philippines. A major quake could be devastating for that country, and experts of PhilVolcS know that the big one is coming. They said in a statement that any active faults that have not generated historic surface rupturing events have higher potential to generate large earthquakes, also known as the big one, which can, of course, significantly affect different areas of the Philippines. And they also said, therefore, everyone should be prepared for this big one. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.